Good morning. It's another warm morning here. Hope you've all been keeping cool. Feel free to stay seated or come to lie down for the first part of the practice this morning. Don't need anything in particular for your practice, just yourself. If you've got a mat, that's great. You can either sit or lie on your mat. And we might just begin this morning by taking a few slow breaths in through the nose and then sighing or blowing the breath out through the mouth. So just letting go of everything that has come before this present moment. So breathing in through the nose and then opening the mouth and sighing or blowing the breath away, slowing the breath down. You might like to close the eyes. If you wear glasses, you might like to just pop those to one side for these first few moments as you gather yourself and note how you are feeling in body and mind this morning. Acknowledging that right now there is nothing to change or fix or do. For this moment, just let yourself be. And then let's all take a giant breath in together. So breathing in and sigh the breath away. So let's do this 2 more times. Breathing in through the nose, all together, and sighing the breath out through the mouth. Once more, so a giant breath in together and a giant breath out. So whilst we are all in our separate homes, our separate spaces, I know some of you in Melbourne, some are in country Victoria, I know one of you's in Adelaide. Let's remember that we are connecting here energetically. We don't have to be together physically to connect. So let's now visualize ourselves wrapping a soft, cozy white blanket of love and peace all around all of us who are here together this morning. Perhaps also imagining that we are joining hands, holding hands with those present here this morning. Feeling connected, acknowledged, supported, held, and loved. The invitation this morning is to view the next 75 minutes as time to truly nourish ourselves. Remembering that our yoga practice is medicine, a healing tonic. One way we can settle frayed nerves, agitation, worry, stress. one way we can restore, rejuvenate, re-energize, and find our way back to our true selves. Yoga helps us to build up our internal reserves of prana, healing energy, concentrating energy in our core, strengthening our energy field so that we're not so rattled by challenging events or strong emotions or the dictates of the external world. And then we can work to refine this energy so that it vibrates at a higher frequency, that of love and peace and joy. So if you're lying down, I'll just invite you to start to deepen the breath and bring a little bit of movement into your fingers and your toes. If you're seated, you might like to just bow down, bow forward. If you're lying down, you might start to just rock from side to side. And without any sense of hurry, we're actually going to come up to stand to start our practice this morning. So just taking your time, I'm going to come back to meet you on my mat. I'm going to stand, first of all, in Tadasana, mountain pose. And we're going to begin with some bouncing. And as we're bouncing this morning, I invite you to imagine, as you're bouncing, that you're letting go of anything that disturbs your peace, that disturbs your equilibrium. So you can imagine shaking it, letting it flow down your legs into the earth beneath you. So feet are hip width, little bend in the legs, and then just starting to bounce. The eyes can be open or closed, whatever you feel comfortable with. You can shake the arms, you can flick the fingers. You might like to blow the breath out through the mouth. If it helps you to let go, you can sway. Anything that's been disturbing your peace, any worries, any heavy weight you've been carrying on your shoulders, this is a perfect time to let it go. Let it be absorbed back into the earth beneath you. Make sure you're not clenching the teeth, so let the skin on the face be loose and relaxed. Good, and then just slowing that movement down, and we'll move into a twist, Kati Chakrasana. Just make sure you're not going to bump into anything around you, and just letting the arms flow around the waist, turning the head to look over the shoulder each time. Let the arms be very relaxed, heavy. Just loosening up the energy through subtle spine. You become very, very blocked and get knotted up. And then taking the arms up to shoulder height. And then taking the arms all the way up overhead, looking up, stretching up. And then back to shoulder height. And back around the waist, bringing the head back to center as you let the arms slow down. Taking a deep breath in and side away. All right. So this next movement, our stale air mover. So legs are a little bit wider apart. And we're going to take a deep breath in as we stretch the arms up. So another great letting go practice. As we exhale, through the mouth as you come forward. Legs can be bent or straight here. So 2 more of these. Inhale, stretch the arms up. And let it all go. And last one, inhale. Exhale. Good. And then slowly, slowly, slowly coming up, lifting your shoulders up towards your ears and roll the shoulders down the back. A few slow circles. Good. All right. Now, I thought we would have a go at the wood chopper this morning. So those of you not familiar with the wood chopper, it's another fantastic practice for letting go. And particularly if we have been feeling quite frustrated or quite angry, irritated, annoyed. This is a fantastic practice just to let go of those strong emotions. So you might like to bring to mind a situation. It might be if you've had any arguments, any conflict recently, you can bring that into your mind. And this is a really healthy way to let go of how we're feeling without actually projecting that out perhaps at the person. So if you're not familiar with it, we're going to imagine that we're picking up an axe. We interlace our fingers, and we're going to be imagining that we're going to, in a moment, take the axe up above our heads, and then we're going to bring it down to that wood, making a loud sound. So we'll do 3 of these. I'll do it sideways so you can see a bit better. So let's take a deep breath in and then let it all go. And then again, inhale. And last one. Good. And then just come up, pop your axe safely to the side. Come back into Tadasana, bend the legs, and a little bit more bouncing. So any residue, perhaps there's a little bit left in there in the body that we've been carrying. Anything that's disturbing our peace, keeping us awake at night, perhaps. And then just slow that down. All right, we're going to come down to sit now and work with another fantastic practice if we've had trouble expressing our truth. It's a really good sort of letting go practice, but also a good practice to help us find our voice so that we can speak our truth. We can communicate out our truth, our deepest need. It doesn't have to be speaking, it could be doing art, expressing ourselves through art or through music or through dance or through yoga. But the lion pose is fantastic for working with our throat. If you think recently if there's been any times when you feel like you haven't been able to find your voice, where you're swallowing, keeping stuff down that really needs to sort of be expressed in the world. So again, this is a really healthy way for us to connect with and find our voice. So if you haven't seen this before, it's quite odd. If we can, we are kneeling with our big toes touching. Our hands are down in front, the fingers are pointed towards us. We're going to, in a moment, look up towards our third eye, the center of the forehead, as we extend the tongue and make a loud ah sound. And see if you can allow the sound to come from right down deep in the belly. So we'll do 3 of these and then a variation. So let's take a deep breath in. Ah. So again. Ah.
No. Ah.
Someone's unmuted. Not that it doesn't matter. It's quite nice hearing you, actually. We'll do one more, and this time just let your tongue move from side to side. So deep breath in. Ah. Good. And then just release, and you can stay kneeling or sit any comfortable way. We're going to go straight into a little bit of tapping. So with your fingertips tapping the chest, just breathing, just relax the face. Notice what's going on inside. They're quite powerful practices we've just worked with. You might feel some stuff bubbling up to the surface. Know that that's okay. Just stay with your breath. Again, it can always be really lovely to do a bit of journaling after you've done some yoga, what comes up when you're on your mat. Sometimes we can get some really wonderful insights that we hadn't sort of thought of before. It can even be a good idea sometimes to keep a bit of paper and a pen by your mat and even just write down a sentence, and then you can come back to it later on and flesh it out. Let's go to the chin, under the nose, under your eyes, to your temples, your forehead, and the top of the head. Good, and then rub the palms together. This next practice, if you're not familiar with it, is a beautiful self-soothing practice. So if you sort of feel that brought up a bit, if you sometimes work with those practices and then feel a little bit teary, a bit emotional, might bring up some grief or sadness, or even if you just are feeling quite, frustrated and angry or disappointed, this is a beautiful practice to work with. It's called the 5-step self-holding practice. So we start off just placing the hands on the side of the head and take a few breaths here. Just allowing everything to quieten down. Touching yourself with great tenderness and care and love. And then one hand on the forehead, one hand on the back of the head. And breathe. And then drop the hand that's on the back of the head to your heart space. A few breaths here. Drop the hand down to the belly. So hand on the heart, hand on the belly. And finally, take the hand that's on the heart back to the back of the head. So it's a beautiful practice. I often, even if I'm sitting at my desk sometimes and something might come up, I might just stop for a minute and just work with that. Could even do it sitting in the car. Anyway, in bed. All right, we're going to work now with wheeling the body. So in a cross-legged position or legs in a diamond shape, you might be sitting onto some support. Hands are onto our knees and just starting to circle the upper body. If you feel comfortable, the eyes closed this morning. This is another beautiful self-soothing practice, calming practice. Now if your legs are crossed, just change the cross of the legs and we'll start to circle in the opposite direction. And then come back to center. We're just going to do a little bit of breathing. Those of you who were with me last week, we did this breathing as well. We did it in a standing position to begin. You might like to have your hands in Jana Mudra, index finger and thumb lightly joined. Palms can be up or down. Nice, tall, straight spine. The eyes lightly closed. So just imagining now that there is a beam or channel of light from the sky flowing down into the crown of your head. So as you breathe in, you're pulling or drawing this light, this energy in through the crown, taking it down to your belly. And then as you exhale, you're sending this energy down into Mother Earth. So breathing in, drawing this radiant, brilliant light in through the crown. Take it down to the belly, a little pause. And then exhale, send this light down into Mother Earth. Let's continue for another minute or so, breathing in. Taking the breath, taking your awareness to the belly and breathing out, send your awareness deep down into Mother Earth, softening your shoulders. Inhaling through the crown, down to the belly, little pause. And then anchoring that energy deep into Mother Earth. Few more breaths in this one. So this is also another wonderful practice if we've felt lately as though we've been quite rattled by the outside world, or even perhaps rattled by our own thoughts and our own inner critic. Just to calm us, to steady us, to anchor us, connect us with light, with energy, with the earth beneath us. Now we're going to incorporate the Sanskrit mantra Shantihi this morning, meaning peace. So when we work with this mantra, it can also help to calm waves of agitation, any internal turmoil or distress or upset. So if you'd like to, you can chant out loud or just chant to yourself, but we'll work with 5 of these now. So on the next inhale, raising the arms up above the head, reaching up towards that channel of light, fingertips touch. Shanti. Drawing that peace down into your being. So 4 more. Breathing in. Shanti. Let's keep going. Shanti. Shanti. Last one. Shanti. Take a breath. Use the hands. Let's change our position now and come into extended child. So big toes together, knees are wide apart, arms extended forward. Connecting with your breath. And perhaps this morning, just thinking of every movement on your mat is a loving act towards yourself, for yourself. And if you become aware of any discomfort, any pain, tension, whether it's mental or emotional or physical, you might like to send a wave of loving, peaceful energy to that part of you. Send some kindness to that part of you. Some acceptance. So we're going to make some circles now with our hips, working with our hippie cat. So you can just lift the head up. We're going to inhale, come around to one side, lean forward, around to the other side and back. So around to one side, forward, around to the other side and back. Around to the side, forward to the other side and back. Good, and then reversing directions. Good. And then come up onto all fours. So your hands are directly under your shoulders, your knees are directly under your hips. So working with a different version of cat now. We're still going to make circles, but we're going to come over to one side. We crouch down low to the other side and then push the back up towards the sky. So come over to the side, crouch down low to the other side, push the back up. Come over to the side, crouch down low to the other side, push the back up. One more. Good. And then reverse. Come over to the other side. Down. Push the back up. To the side. Crouch down low. Push the back up. Last one. And then back into extended child. And rest for a breath or two. All right, let's move now from child into cat and back into child. And again, if you'd like to join with me, we'll chant Shanti here on the exhale. So just exhale all breath to begin. And then breathing in, coming up onto all fours. Shanti. Inhale. Two more like this. Last one. Rest for a breath or two. So we're going to drop the chant, but keep working with what we were just doing, but also now start to add down face dog pose. So let's inhale, coming up onto the hands and the knees, but this time we're going to tuck the toes and lift into down face dog pose. Inhale as we drop the knees down and exhale back into child. So breathing in to all fours, tuck the toes, exhale, down face dog pose. Breathing in to all fours, rounding the back, and exhale, child. Stay with your breath, so long, smooth inhalation. And long, smooth exhalation. Long, smooth inhale. And long, smooth exhale. Let's do a couple more, then I'm going to give you an alternative to work with.
Now feel free to rest at any point, or you can just continue doing what we've just done, or I'm going to give you an add-on. So let's come up into down face dog pose. So you can just go back into cat here if you prefer. Otherwise, we're going to come forward into plank. Have a look if you're not sure. So the body's in a straight line. Then we're going to bring the right hand into the center of the mat and come into Vasisthasana 1, which is our side balance. So left hand can go on your hip, or you can extend that arm up. You can look forward, or you might be able to look up towards that left thumb if you feel steady enough. Keep breathing. So of course we wouldn't be doing this pose if we had any wrist or shoulder issues. And then come back into plank and go back into down face dog pose. Have a breath or two there. And then if you'd like to come along with me, we'll do the other side. So coming forward into plank. Left hand into the center, rolling to the left, right hand onto your hip, or extending the right arm up. Looking forward or up towards your right thumb. And breathe. Good. Back into dog. And then lowering your knees. And come into child. Any version of child that you like. A possibility, if you'd like to this morning, is to take your hands to the back of your head where the hair begins to grow, so the back of the neck, and just start to massage along that ridge, the base of the skull, where we can store so much tension. The energy channels, the nadis, can become very blocked here, leading to lots of headaches. So we're trying to free up the flow of energy here, as well as through the whole body. So just noticing any particularly sore spots. And also notice you might find one side of the head is a bit sorer than the other. So just being curious, noticing what you notice, and you might choose to explore it a bit further later on. Good. And then release and coming up, and we're going to come up onto our knees and just do a little bit of a strengthening for our quads. So we're going to hold on to the opposite elbow and just start to lean back. I might do this sideways so you can get a good idea of what I mean. So we're just trying to lean back, but it's like you're trying to push your hips forward whilst you're leaning back. And just see if you can hold that. Be careful of your neck, breathing. And when you need a little rest, just come up and sit down and perhaps give your thighs a bit of a rub. We'll do that again. And then take two, holding the opposite elbow and leaning back. Make sure you're not holding the breath. Sit down when you've had enough, perhaps a little rub. And back into extended child. All right, so another flowing sequence. This one's a little bit more challenging for a lot of us. We're going to move from child through into a low cobra, back into child. So let's see how we go. We're going to try to stay as low to the mat as we can. So it's like we're a snake slithering along the ground. So as we inhale, we come forward. So keep the chin as low as you can to the mat. Keep the elbows squeezing in, lift the chest, and then push back into child. So looking along the mat, keep your chin as low to the mat as you can, squeeze the elbows in, lift up, bend the legs, push back. Coming along the mat and push back. Coming along the mat and push back. You might rest if you've had enough, or we'll try 2 more. Remembering our spines are much more like a snake than a piece of wood. So our spines love to move constantly. And then slowly lift yourself up. Again, you might like to make a few slow circles with your shoulders. Good. And then we're going to come to lie down onto our mats. Taking the arms above the head. So your hands are at least shoulder width apart. Your feet are at least hip width apart. Chin or forehead is on the mat. So for the next few breaths, just let yourself go. You might sigh the breath away. Let the body sink down into the support of Mother Earth. All right, so some back strengthening practices now. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the left arm, the head, and the right leg. And we're trying to stretch fingertips and toes in opposite directions. And then exhale, lower. And then lifting right arm, left leg. And lower. Left arm, right leg. And lower. Right arm, left leg. And lower. One more to each side. Left arm, right leg. And lower. Right arm, left leg. And lower. Good. Now from here, we're going to lift just our legs. Point your toes. See if you can straighten legs. Open the back of the knees. And then lower. And then on your next inhale, lifting your arms and your head. So keeping the tops of the feet pressing down. And lower. Lifting your legs, pointing your toes. And lower. And lifting your arms and your head. Stretch the fingers forward and lower. Legs lifting. And lower. Arms and head lifting. And lower. Good. Just rest one hand on top of the other, your chin or your forehead on your hands. If that's gone into your lower back a little bit, you can bend the lower legs and just swing the legs from side to side. Okay, so one more on our tummies. Arms go down alongside us. Head is to one side. Feet are hip width apart. On the next inhale, we're going to turn our head to center, lift our arms and lift our legs. Exhale, lower everything down, turn your head the opposite way. So breathing in, lift to center. And breathing out, lower. Inhale, center. Exhale, lower. Feel free to do a couple more. Make sure you work evenly to each side. And when you finish, take a rest. Bring the hands alongside the chest. Inhale, lift. Bend your legs. Come back into child. If the lower back's a bit sore, you can make this and just give a little bit of a massage. And then we'll slowly come up to kneel. So we're going to go through a few rounds of our kneeling salute. So you can start here, or if it's better for you, this can be your start position. Let's exhale all breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, cat. Tuck your toes. Down, face dog pose. Back into cat. And child. Inhale, sliding through into a low cobra. And back. If you'd like to join with me, we'll chant Shantiki on our last exhale. Inhale, come up. Shanti. Take a breath. And again. Now, down face dog pose. Child. Sliding on the floor through into cobra. And back. Shanti. Take a breath. Shanti. rest for a breath. I'm going to do 2 more. We're going to add gate pose, Parigasana from cat. So feel free to watch if you're not quite sure. Inhale. So breathing in, so you come up onto all fours, and then exhale, turn to the left. So extend the left leg, raise the left arm. Inhale back to center, and then exhale, turn to the right. Inhale back to center, tuck your toes, down face dog pose. Out. Seven. Sliding on the floor. Take a breath. Last one. Inhale, cat. Exhale, turn to the left. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, turn to the right. Inhale, all fours. Tuck your toes. Down face dog pose. Back into cat. Child. Sliding on the floor. Take a breath. Release the hands. Just swing the legs around in front of you. You can sit onto a cushion or a blanket if you'd like a bit of extra support under the buttocks. And I'll work with a forward fold. So feet are hip width, feet are flexed. Hands are alongside your hips. Nice, straight, tall spine. Inhale, let's raise the arms up. And exhale, coming forward. Might like to close the eyes, softening the shoulders. There's no sense of force or pushing here. That's just the ego wanting us to, go further. Thinking there's some idea of perfection, but just try to be where you are with your breath, present in the moment, and that is what is actually perfection. Stay with your breath, accepting and letting go. There's no competition with ourselves or with anyone else in yoga. Bring your palms together and draw that channel of light down through your being. From here, just a little twist. This is called Bhuno Manasana, greeting the earth. So feet can be together, feet are flexed. We just turn to one side, hands down, and it's like we're trying to kiss the earth. greeting the earth. And then we come up, we turn to the other side, and we lean down. So you can keep this really slow, or you can speed it up. Good. And work, make sure you work evenly to each side, and then come back and exhale. All right, we're going to come to sit now for meditation. So I'm going to come up to be closer to you once again. So if you're really low in energy, feel free to lie down. Or if the heat has really got to you today and yesterday. Otherwise, we can sit. A nice tall spine. You might even be sitting on a chair. That's absolutely fine. You might have your hands in a favorite mudra position. If you're not sure, index finger and thumb lightly joined. So just take a moment to settle yourself. This meditation will be for about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we'll go into relaxation. And it's a meditation we can work with to increase the strength of our heart energy, the vibration of love, the frequency of love within us. So it's potentially a very powerful practice. It's a bit of a favorite of mine. Some of you will have done this with me before. I think it's one we could actually do every day, really. It's also reminds us that we don't need to look for love outside of ourselves. We can build up love within ourselves, this energy of love. So just closing the eyes. And then I invite you to drop your gaze down towards your heart. As you call to mind someone you love dearly in an uncomplicated way. Someone who makes your heart sing. Could be a family member, a friend, a partner, a pet, a sibling. It may be a spiritual being or deity. It could be someone who has passed away, a beloved grandparent or a special aunt. Choose one being that generates the sensation of love within you. And then begin to fill your heart with the presence of this being. Let the feeling of love percolate through you. And sense how you feel inside when you think of this person or deity or animal. Breathe in this feeling. Keep breathing it in. Feel the love now emanating from within you. Let's turn up the volume on this experience. Double the feeling.
the feeling of love. Let it build. And then double it again. Fill your body with the love that you have for this person or deity or animal. And then let it overflow into your room. Allow love to fill your room, expanding, becoming larger and larger. Again, notice how you feel in your body as all of this love is happening. Memorize how it feels. And now say to yourself, this is all for me. This is all for me. Drop the love that is bigger than your room into the very center of your being. Call it home to you. Let yourself receive it all. Feel love in every crevice of your body. This is all for me. What you are feeling is the vibration of love. It's not as though love is being brought to you. Instead, love is being brought up from within you so that you can experience the love you already have inside of you. The love that you are. So let's seal our meditation by chanting Om Shanti 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 here 3 times. If you'd like to, you can join in with me or you can just listen. Bring the hands together at the heart space. Exhale all breath. Breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Just bowing your head down towards your heart. And lift your head up. And if you're sitting, just come now to lie down for relaxation. Try not to disturb your peace too much. Just move quietly and slowly. You might sigh the breath away. Settling down, getting comfortable. And then taking a moment to reflect back on the moment you commenced your practice this morning when you first turned on Zoom and came to your yoga mat, and try to recall what was going on for you at that time, how you were feeling. And then reflect on how you are feeling right now. And then just give yourself permission to let go. Let the body drop. Let the mind drop. Settling down, settling in, letting go. While resting, I'd like to share some passages with you from a student of Paramahansa Yogananda. This is Toby Alexander in his book, The Great Master. I came to recognize that even though one may have thousands of advanced, sophisticated healing techniques and methods, what truly heals a person is the vibration of love. This divine love is the essence of all beings. But most importantly, I experienced this myself by opening up my heart completely to it. Absolute love is literally what we are composed of. It is the nature of our true essence. This is also the quality of a small child who is filled with exuberance, innocence, and purity. When people vibrate at such a high frequency, just their presence alone helps raise the frequency of everything and everyone around them. They are not required to do anything. Their presence helps activate others into divine love. So let's start now to deepen the breath. And just listen to all of the sounds in your environment. Just familiarizing yourself once more with the outside world. Noticing sounds that are very close as well as more distant sounds. And bringing a little bit of movement into your fingers and toes. I'd like to have a bit of a stretch. Do what feels good. And then quietly rolling over to one side and just making your way up into a comfortable seated position. I'd like to just keep the eyes closed as you're sitting and just even take your hands out to the side. Let's imagine once again that we're sitting together in a circle, holding hands, sending some love and peace and warmth, support to each other. Sending a smile into our circle. Just breathing quietly. Good. And then bring your own hands to your heart, acknowledging yourself, feeling the love within you. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Keep cool. I think it's still pretty warm today. And I look forward to seeing some of you for perhaps a cuppa soon at our local cafe, if you can come. Otherwise, I'll see the rest of you hopefully next week. Bye.